Today I'm going to show you how to make a stuffed pork tenderloin. Delicious meal, really easy. You're going to be surprised how quick and easy this is, and it is full of flavor. Come on in the kitchen, guys. Let's cook. Okay guys, so today we're going to be cooking a pork tenderloin. So what I have here is a pork tenderloin that I bought from my store. I usually like to get the ones that are plain with no seasoning on them, but as luck would have it, today all they had this last trip was the ones that were seasoned, but that's fine. It's just gonna give us another layer of flavor. And just a tip, even if it says it's seasoned, you need to put your own seasoning on there. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gonna show you first how we're gonna cut this open so we're ready to go ahead and stuff it. And then I'm gonna show you, we're gonna make an easy filling that's gonna go inside, and you'll be surprised how quick and easy this is. Okay, so your pork tenderloin is gonna come like this, all right? You got it? Okay. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do with this pork tenderloin is you're going to cut it open. Now, you wanna start at the top and cut down about a ½ inch, okay? This is a good one to show you because this one even has some little tear going there. I don't know what that's about, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna cut down about a ½ inch to start, okay? All right, see there? We're gonna go ahead and just make sure you push that open, okay? And then we're gonna go and continue cutting down more. We wanna leave some here though, because we're trying to stuff it, so we can't go all the way through, okay? So I'm gonna go back and cut down a little bit more, like this. See that? I'm opening it up. And as I do that, I'm then gonna start to I cut, this is how I do it. I also cut over here a little bit on these sides, so I can start to flatten it out. I'm butterflying it, basically. See here? Can you see this one? Now I'm gonna take this side here, cut it out like this a little bit, and then go back here. See how I'm doing that? I'm opening it up, see? But I'm going slowly so I don't overdo it. You can't just cut it and open it. I mean, you probably could, but I like to open it like this because a few things happen by cutting it this way. By cutting it this way, I get flavor in all these little pockets, and also I get to open it just a little, oops, there we go, a little bit more than normal, okay? So you see that? I just did basically 3 cuts. One down the middle, then I did these 2 on the sides here, and I need to go just a little deeper here. And you wanna make sure though that when you open it up, you've still got space here. See, I've still got about a good ½ inch here, okay? And you can go a little bit more, we're gonna flatten it out, okay? All right, that's the first thing, is we're gonna cut it open. Now, I'm gonna take some cling wrap or saran wrap, plastic wrap. This stuff, I'm using one of them. There's a bunch of them. Okay, I'm gonna put this on top of it like this, okay? And then I'm gonna, ooh, I don't wanna cut myself, I've done that before. Did y'all ever see the time I cut myself on a video? Okay, never mind. I'm gonna flip it over, okay? And I'm gonna put plastic wrap, again, over the top. Okay. Do this, so. This time though, I'm gonna put a couple of pieces of plastic wrap because I wanna cover the whole cutting board, okay? And you don't have to do the plastic wrap part. You can just start, you know, banging it with the rolling pin, but I'm just saying, this is how I do it. Okay, flip it back. So now you see I've got that plastic wrap on there, okay? See? Now I take my rolling pin, and first thing I do, y'all, I know I'm country, okay? So don't tell me I'm country, I already know it. Now that our pork tenderloin is ready, we're gonna let it sit aside and rest because we beat on it, you know what I mean? Like, she needs to rest. We're gonna start with these portobello mushrooms. What was that? I'm gonna chop these up. Now, we don't need to chop them super fine, but we just don't want big old pieces because we're gonna try to put it as a filling, right? Okay, sometimes you guys, I use shiitakes. Sometimes I use shiitake and portobello together. I love these portobellos because they have so much flavor to them, but you can also use plain mushrooms. Plain mushrooms are fine, or you know what I really want to try one of these days is I'm looking for chestnut mushrooms. If y'all have any tips for me on where I can find them, please let a girl know. Okay, so you see how I'm chopping these up? You can go back again, make them a little finer, but don't go crazy. And over here in my skillet, I've got a little olive oil heating. Okay, there we go. Making sure no big pieces, just going over it one more time. And can I tell y'all something? When I made this at home for dinner one night, you know, my kids think they hate mushrooms, right? Okay, fine, let him think that. This thing, I cut the mushrooms up I chopped them up pretty fine, you guys. And they crushed it. And my husband looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, you know what's in that filling, right? And he looked at me, and he said, I saw him over there in the empty container. We got so tickled because they just know they don't like mushrooms. I'm like, yeah, right. Score one for Mom. All right, we're gonna let these mushrooms start to cook up a little bit. We just want them to get nice and tender, a little brown. We're gonna add a little salt here. Okay. And some pepper. And we're gonna use a lot more olive oil. We're gonna be generous with the olive oil because we're gonna also add some panko breadcrumbs to this, and we really want them to absorb everything, okay? So, mushrooms. We're gonna also add some chopped yellow onions, okay? I'm making a mess, y'all. Once these cook down a little bit more, last we'll add some minced garlic. The reason I'm adding the garlic last, there's a real reason, is because if you cook the garlic too long, it'll start to get bitter, and you don't want it to be bitter, okay? So it's best, I find, to just wait and add the garlic after these have started softening up. And then we're gonna put a touch of parsley in there. Now, like I said, this pork tenderloin I got today actually already has a little bit of flavor to it. It was called a rosemary thyme. You know how in the grocery store they have the flavors? That's fine. But the one adjustment I am going to make is I'm not gonna try to do a totally different seasoning inside. I'm not gonna try a different flavor profile. I'm gonna try to match the rosemary and thyme. So I'm gonna pretty much stick to herbs. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit more pepper. There we go. And now I'm going to add my minced garlic. It's 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic makes everything better. And I'm going to start adding my parsley. I'm going to end up putting probably a good tablespoon or so in there. Parsley seems like it doesn't have any flavor, and I'm not convinced that it has a ton of it, but it does a little something. You know what I mean? It does a little something. Here we go. See that? And we're basically making a stuffing. Oh, the flavor is releasing now so beautifully from the onions and the garlic. Oh, this is gonna be so good. And you see, you're thinking, uh-oh, does it have too much fat in there? Is it excess? No, it's not. Because what we're gonna add next are these panko breadcrumbs. I'm using seasoned panko breadcrumbs because even though they don't have a ton of seasoning, they say it's seasoned. I don't know what it is, but I figure it must be better than if they put nothing on it. So we're gonna start adding these in there, okay? I've got about a cup here. I'm gonna start with a half. You see how I'm letting the breadcrumbs absorb that oil? See there? Okay. And a little bit more. Go slowly so that it has a chance to absorb, and then you can really add the flavor in there. Oh, God, it smells so good, you guys. Woo! Look at that. Keep down a little bit. And I'm going to add the last of this cup of breadcrumbs. Now, if you were trying to make this keto friendly, you could use quinoa instead of breadcrumbs in there, and that would give you a nice filling of substance, a nice flavor without having to add an extra carb to it. So it's just a little tip. If I did that here, y'all, they'd probably kick me out. See how nice this is looking? I'm going to add some more oil to it. But you know what I think I'm gonna try, fam? I think one of these times I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna slip it in some quinoa and see if they even notice. You know what I mean? Y'all with me? Oh goodness. I gotta make sure my kids don't watch this video or they won't trust anything I cook. Oh man, see how that's coming together? Really nice, simple stuffing. This is just mushrooms, onions, garlic, some panko breadcrumbs, a little parsley, salt and pepper. Wonderful flavor combination. And we also don't have to cook it really hard because it's gonna be inside the pork, and we're gonna put the pork in the oven. So we're good. All right, see that? Nice consistency, looks good. Let's get ready to fill our pork with this wonderful filling, and let's keep going. I almost forgot to taste it. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. Mmm. Now I'm ready to stuff it. Ooh, that's delicious. Okay guys, now that our stuffing is done and it tastes amazing, I'm ready to stuff this pork tenderloin. Now I'm gonna have y'all laughing. I started this video, started to do the stuffing, and realized I had forgot to put the twine on. I had to take it off, and you know, these things happen. So first thing you wanna do, you're gonna get this pork tenderloin off of the ceramic wrap, the plastic wrap we had, right? And you wanna lay it onto some twine, kitchen twine. I'm using just regular old kitchen twine. You can also use toothpicks if you want to, but kitchen twine is just easier for me because I have it. All right, now we're going to stuff. We're gonna go down the middle, like so, okay? And it is okay if you have extra stuffing left in your pan, because we're gonna make gravy with that. So everything will be used, do not worry, okay? Don't overstuff it, I want to so bad. But all that's gonna happen is it's gonna come flying out. Okay, now be careful, this is hot. This stuffing is hot, okay? Remember that little imperfection we had on this? We're gonna deal with it now. So what you're gonna do, lift up, see there? And start first with a loose tie, okay? Because you're gonna go back and we're gonna reposition these a little bit, okay? This one. Oops, see, I don't want to, I'm trying to avoid going directly on top of that little cut that was already in. Oh, there it is, on the outside of this tenderloin. See how I'm doing this? Just a loose tie. Just pulling it together for my first time. Okay, well that one doesn't want to cooperate, so she's got to get a knot now. There. How about that? Oh, these cherries sometimes. Okay, I'll go ahead and knot this one too. The first one cooperated. It's the oldest. The oldest one always acts right, don't they? The oldest is the best of the working kitty. All of them are precious good babies. Okay, here we go. See that? This is what we're doing. Okay? Just like so. Okay, see there? Now this piece here that was messed up, I'm gonna actually cut another piece of twine. I usually just do 4, but I want to make sure I get that part closed because that was a little, something like the meat tore or something. I don't know. I'm gonna just go under here, pull it like that, and come right here. When you tie this twine, tie it tight enough to stay, but not so tight that after it's done, you won't be able to get it out. Because if it gets stuck and baked in there, that's a mess, honey. All right, see there? That's it. There's the stuffing on the top, everything perfect. Now what I'm gonna do, push this down just a little, I'm gonna season the outside of this just a wee bit, okay? Gonna get a little salt. Remember, this, like I said, this already has that rosemary thyme on there, which is not, you know, a whole lot, but they tried. And I'm just gonna take it and just sprinkle a little salt here on these sides, like so, okay? And then I'll bring this one up too. Okay, here we go. And a little fresh black pepper. So, and here I have a baking dish that I have pre-sprayed, and I'm just gonna take my pork and lay it right here, just like so, okay? Let me show you how I did that. Laid just like that, okay? We're gonna put this in a 400-degree oven, okay? And then once it's done, we'll come back. We're gonna take this leftover stuffing here and make a delicious gravy that we're gonna serve on top. It's gonna be heavenly. All right, let's get this in the oven. Let's get going. So here is our pork tenderloin out of the oven. It looks absolutely amazing. I checked the internal temperature. It was about 145 degrees, which is what you want. And remember, pork doesn't have to be, well, we like to eat it well done, and I generally suggest that. But you can go just a little under and it's still good. So 145 is real good. That's well done, but it's good. Okay, now what I'm gonna do while this rests, you know you have to give it a few minutes to rest when you first take it out the oven. This is the best way to let it rest without being tempted to eat it, because I'm tempted to eat it immediately. All right, it's to start on the gravy. Remember that stuffing that we had left over? So I've got my skillet going back again here, heating it back up with this onions and this whole little filling mixture in there. And what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of olive oil to it, okay? So it has a little more fat working with it. And I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of flour, all-purpose flour, okay? Not a ton, because I'm not trying to do a whole lot. I just need a little bit of thickening, okay? And I'm gonna stir this in and let this cook together. I didn't put the whole tablespoon in there yet. I'm gonna stir it around. And I'm telling you, the gravy with the stuffing in it, OMG, y'all. All right, you hear it coming together? Yeah, not too much flour. There, that's a total of about a tablespoon. Get it in here, like so. And when this gets some action going, we're gonna add water to it, making chicken broth. And I'm using, as always, better than bouillon, which is basically concentrated chicken broth. You know I love that stuff. This pan is hot. Let me move this over here, because I am not trying to burn my hands today. You know? All right, here we go. This is looking good. See how that's coming together? And that flour has been absorbed by the fat. Now we're gonna start adding this chicken broth. Add the water first. I have 2 cups in here, but I'm only gonna use what I need. I'm starting with 1 cup. All right, and then to that I'm gonna add the chicken broth concentrate. Just gonna give me flavor. Another nice touch if you want here is you can add a touch of white wine. I've done that before, and I'm telling you, there's so many things you can do to take the flavor to so many levels. Then you're just gonna give this a nice stir while this thickens up. And if you need more water, add more water. And it's really more of a simple sauce almost than a gravy. You're gonna take it like that, and you see that? This has got your breadcrumbs in it. That's what's so cool about this gravy, is it has texture to it because it actually has your stuffing in it. So you've got your breadcrumbs in there that are cooked in, and you've got the mushrooms and the onions and the parsley and everything. Just a nice little sauce here. All right, so while that is finishing, coming to a nice boil, we're going to remove, okay, you can see it. Still hot with my finger. The temperature of my fingers is not normal any longer, so I can handle the heat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this, and you want to remove the pork right there. Okay, now this is rested for a while. This is still boiling lovely. Oh, see that? And then we're gonna cut. Now you can cut off these. Remember we talked about these little pieces of twine? You can cut them just like that. Now I tend to live dangerously. Where are my scissors? Y'all, I'll find the scissors. Here are my scissors, hold on. You know I was about to keep going with that knife and cut myself right in front of y'all and then be like, oh Lord, y'all cut myself. But anyway, so you see how we didn't tie these too tight? And these are kitchen scissors I'm using. So these scissors are strictly for the kitchen. They are only used in our home in the kitchen, okay? I recommend that you get a pair of kitchen scissors like that, because there's things that you have to cut while you're cooking, and you don't want to use the craft scissors. You know what I mean? So get you some cooking scissors and let those be the only ones you use in your kitchen for cooking. Cooking scissors. Makes sense, don't it? See here? Okay, see how I'm pulling those off? I'm not gonna make you watch me do all of it. I just want you to see a little bit of it. Okay? And this is rested. Oh my God, this sauce is so good looking. Okay? And now you'll wash your scissors with a dish soap. Can you see, y'all? And then you're just gonna start cutting. Now I want you to see this. Look at that. You see how beautiful that is, and you've got that stuffing up there? I'm just gonna take this one little piece for taste. Show you. Look at that. Gravy's down. Again, it's more of it's like a sauce that has the same flavors in it, right there on top. Boom. Oh, I'm excited. Y'all know I get excited when I get ready to eat, especially my own cooking. Let's see here. And this way you've got the stuffing inside, and you've got it basically outside in the sauce that's going on top. Oh my gosh. Man, that's good. I think this is becoming one of my new favorite dishes. This is so delicious. I'm not gonna eat this whole piece in front of you because I do stuff like that and I embarrass myself. But I'm gonna slice it up and I'm gonna pour the sauce on it, and it's gonna be heavenly and divine. Thank you for joining me today, fam. I can't wait till we're back together again next time for more Calabama cooking right here in the Love Lab. I'll see you next time. Happy cooking.